Hello, everybody. Happy 4th of July, and thank you very much. I'm Orlando Ruiz Jr. Welcome to another classic movie review. In honor of the 4th of July celebration, I am talking about the biggest film of the summer of 1996, Independence Day. This is one of those movies that I really regret not seeing on the big screen when it first came out in theaters that year, much like the first Jurassic Park film, which I also regret not seeing on the big screen. This is one of those movies that once it came out on cable, I watched it a ton, fell in love with it. To this day, I still rewatch this movie at least once a year. I think it still holds up terrifically. The cast is a lot of fun. The effects still hold up really great. And it's a real fun popcorn summer action science fiction flick. This movie was directed by Roland Emmerich, who 2 years prior had directed the 1994 science fiction action film Stargate, starring Kurt Russell and James Spader. And 2 years prior to that, he had directed Universal Soldier, one of my personal favorite early 90s action films that stars Jean Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren. But since Independence Day, Roland Emmerich has gone on to direct a string of disaster flicks ranging from the 1998 Godzilla. I think he also directed the movie starring Mel Gibson, The Patriot, that came out the year 2000. A very good war film. And later on, of course, in 2004, The Day After Tomorrow, starring Jake Gyllenhaal. And then later on, 2012, starring John Cusack. And most recently, I think Roland Emmerich directed the movie Moonfall, which I have yet to see. But Independence Day is definitely one of those movies that has aged very well. We got Jeff Goldblum, Will Smith, Bill Pullman, Randy Quaid, Judd Hirsch. I'm a big fan of the old school show Taxi, so it's really cool to see Judd Hirsch in here. He plays the father to the Jeff Goldblum character, and this movie kind of has that Irwin Allen 70s disaster movie style in terms of how they set up the characters, how they introduce all the characters, in this kind of the vein of a movie like The Poseidon Adventure or The Towering Inferno, movies that I have talked about on this channel. Real fun disaster flicks. But yeah, this movie is basically in the same tradition, only instead of a natural disaster, we have an alien invasion. It's very much in the spirit of the 1950s B movies, only it feels very much adapted for the 1990s. And the music score in this movie is a lot of fun. We have a fun music score from composer David Arnold, who would later on go on to compose movies for the music for the James Bond movies, Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough, Die Another Day, then Casino Royale. I very much enjoy the music of David Arnold, and it very much has this John Williams feel. The main cast in this movie is very likable, and as we meet them in the first act, we get to see everybody is sort of in different parts of the country. We have some main cast members in the East Coast, some in the West Coast. First, we meet the Jeff Goldblum character who works at this like a cable company, I guess, and then later on we meet Will Smith's character who's in the military. We see that he's a pilot. Will Smith is very good in this movie. He has some funny one-liners. He has some nice moments of heroism, and he displays that Will Smith charisma that we would all come to expect in all of his movies throughout his career, and very good chemistry with his co-stars as well. Vivica A. Fox, who plays his girlfriend in the movie, the little boy that plays her son, who's also in Little Rascals that came out a couple years before this. He was Buckwheat in that. And he has very good chemistry with Jeff Goldblum, who plays David. David is a very smart character. He's kind of the, I guess, the smart but capable nerdy guy. And he has some really nice lines in the movie, too. I really like his relationship with Judd Hirsch, who plays his dad. Judd Hirsch has some really funny lines in this movie. This movie is peppered with some nice moments of humor to kind of counterbalance all the destruction and chaos. There is a lot of devastation in this movie. For the most part, the aliens get to win. Yeah, about halfway, well, before halfway through the movie, actually after the first act, the aliens pretty much decimate us, and so then everybody has to kind of regroup and form a plan. So, the first act of the movie, aliens basically invade and wipe out a bunch of people, take out a bunch of monuments and landmarks. Second half, everybody kind of starts to regroup and find each other. And then the third act of the movie, it's the big final standoff between humanity and the aliens. And I really like the design of the aliens in this movie. Randy Quaid is also in the movie, and he does a very good job in the role of Russell, a father and crop duster who becomes an unlikely hero. And Russell is a bit of an alcoholic. He's kind of dealing with some things that happened about 10 years before this. I guess aliens abducted him. He had some kind of experience where he was abducted, and so it kind of messed him up. And he does a really good job in the movie. He has some nice humorous moments, gets to be funny because he's naturally a funny guy. For anybody that's ever seen him in National Lampoon's Vacation as Cousin Eddie, then you know he can be pretty damn hysterical. This movie is a lot of things. It's an action adventure, it's a disaster movie, it's an alien invasion movie. It has a little bit of romance, it has some little bit of alien horror thrown in there, and quite a bit of humor as well. And there are some cheesy moments all throughout this movie. Every time I rewatch this movie, I'm always thoroughly entertained because the actors do such a great job, because there's such high stakes all throughout the film. That kind of keeps me gripped to my seat, even though I've seen this many times. And, again, the effects still look great. You got Will Smith with the one liners, you got Jeff Goldblum with his little sarcastic quips, and, some great sci fi action. You got a great movie. So, Independence Day from 1996 is a movie that, if you haven't seen it, you should definitely check out. If you're into science fiction films, if you're into action movies, if you're into disaster movies, it's kind of the whole package. I give this movie 3 stars. This is one of those movies that's still kind of popular, and so you probably can't find this on streaming. But like I'm always saying, you should get your physical media copies before they're all gone, because pretty soon there's going to be none left because everybody's streaming everything now. But yeah, I'm always talking about these hard copies because I'm a hard copy kind of guy. This is my Blu-ray. As you can see, that's the White House there in the bottom being decimated by this huge alien ship. These alien ships were so huge and impressive to Steven Spielberg. He didn't even want to come near aliens for at least another 9 years after this until he decided to do his War of the Worlds remake. But yeah, Independence Day, it's a solid 3-star flick and a lot of fun. Alrighty, thank you very much everybody for watching this classic movie review, and I hope everybody has a fun and safe 4th of July holiday. Those of you that are new to the channel, if you're into classic movies and if you're into this kind of thing, hit that bell and subscribe because I'm always talking classic movies. And please don't forget to share, comment, and like, and please look out for the next classic movie review. Have a good one, be safe, take care, peace out.